Welcome to Seasiders TV. Now, on Saturday the 31st of March, we caught up with Felixstowe Walton club photographer Stan Baston, who many of you will recognise from our first team match days, both home and away. He talks to us about how he was introduced to the club, some of the ups and downs of photographing football, and shares with us 3 of his favourite photos from 5 years of loyal support to the club. We started by asking him how taking photos at the club all began.
I had a season ticket at Ipswich Town for 15 years.
Okay.
I saw them trying for promotion. I saw them win the playoff at Wembley. I saw them in the Premiership, and then we got relegated. And then it just got boring. The football was boring. There was no community feel. And it was a hassle getting to Portman Road.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed photography, and I've tried various sports, but football is quite a challenge because the players, they just keep running around. One day I turned up at the Gold Star ground. You never know what you're going to be met with. Some people like to see you with a camera and some think you're a bit of a threat. But as soon as I arrived there, Phil Griffiths grabbed me, saw this man with a camera, told me where the best place to stand.
Wow.
And we went from there.
And when was this, Stan?
This was in September 2013, and I've been doing it ever since.
Brilliant. You obviously enjoy it, but there must be times that you enjoy it a lot more than other times. Let's put it like that.
Well, I have to say that this winter has been the most punishing time.
Yeah.
You know, you go to a match and it's 0 degrees. I have no end of thermal underwear on and I still feel cold. But if we get the goal, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So there's the issue of taking the photos on the day, but your work doesn't end at the end of the match, does it?
No. This camera is top of the range Canon camera, and listen to this.
Sounds like a toy machine gun I had when I was a kid.
Yes, I think some people say that we're just spray and pray is the name of the game, but this takes 14 frames a second. So you see the ball headed off the forehead on the way to the goal, on the way to the crossbar, hits the crossbar and comes out. So it takes a lot of photographs, and this is one of the problems. Yes, you do end up with the key action, the key moment. But then when you get home, I have about 1,000 photographs to look at and I have to process them. So my Saturday nights are quite busy.
You say quite busy. How long does it take you?
Well, it takes about 3 or 4 hours because I have to look through them, and you think, oh, I missed that action, and then you look at it again in the evening and you think, oh, yeah, that was not too bad, that's good. And so I pick out the best bits, and I also have to look out about 10 photographs for the East Anglian.
Right, okay.
And but they're interested in goal shots, and they're interested in celebrations. And so I send those off. I have to send those off on a Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Phil sends his press report at the same time, and we have to have them in by 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, so we have to be ready.
Okay.
It was a big moment for me when I went to the first match. I was grabbed by Phil, he told me where to stand, and I happened to get a 17-year-old came on as substitute and scored the winning goal.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Ryan Birchfield, and we sent this off to the East Anglian, and that was my first picture in the paper. And it does make just good for the ego to see photo Stan Baston. I think my best ever picture is this one of a Norwich United player. He's going through he's mid-air, and I absolutely captured it spot on. Not a long way away, so that was taken on with a long-range lens, but it's very sharp. And yeah, I've done quite well in local competitions with that photograph.
Oh, right.
But sadly, I never found out the name of the Norwich United player.
Okay.
I sent them a copy, but they didn't tell me anything. They didn't respond. I like the interaction with the spectators.
Uh-huh.
We got great supporters And I think this one of Stuart Ainsley jumping through the air really captures the spirit of the moment. And that's what I'm trying to do, is get the moment, and I'll capture the moment there.
Do you ever feel that because you're sitting behind the goal and there might be supporters possibly on all four sides of the ground, that you're missing out on some of the banter and the action? Do you feel is it a bit of a lonely job sometimes?
No, I hear the singing, and that's one of the great features down at the Gold Star Ground, that we've got a bunch of supporters who sing and sing and sing, and I think it gives a great atmosphere. So no, I get plenty of feedback and feel for it.
Good.
And I do like to take pictures. I try and take as many pictures of spectators as possible. And
okay.
one day, one of them's going to send me a solicitor's letter, but I've been all right so far.
Okay, for those people who perhaps don't know it, it's now Saturday lunchtime, and we should have been on our way to Ely to watch a game that was postponed this morning because of a waterlogged pitch. And this is just a few days after the game up at Fakenham was abandoned due to a serious injury. Do you find that frustrating sometimes, the travelling, some of the distances?
The frustrating part for me is that this is going to be an evening fixture under floodlights, and this really sorts out the men from the boys with the cameras. You really need expensive equipment to you have to shoot at 1,000th of a second, and you need an expensive camera to do it, and the results are never as good.
No.
Never as good.
Right. Okay. But nevertheless, you'll do your best, and people will appreciate the work you're doing.
Yeah, we'll be there, and
yeah, great. And just as we appreciate you taking the time to speak to Seasiders TV, and no doubt we'll speak again, because I think there's a bit more to this story than just what we've been talking about for the last 10 minutes. So thanks very much for your time today, Stan. Thank you.
And I'll see you next Saturday.
See you next Saturday indeed.
Bye.
Great. Good.
Hi Stan, David here. Just want to say thank you very much for your work. I enjoy all of the photographs you take. Cheers Stan.
Stan, you're the man. Good man. Keep it up.
Thanks Stan, great job.
Thank you, Stan. Well done. Keep it going.
Cheers Stan! What you do for the club is absolutely spot on, so thank you very much from the fans.
You wrote your letters and I couldn't care, 'cause I know